at least going into training grounds.
Yeah, like I said, this one to me is kind of anyone's game, and to me it's an important one too, because chances are this is going to be a map that we see in the cycle kind of going forward at the event. There's definitely a decent chance that these two teams face off at the live event. They didn't end up playing in San Diego, funny enough, but you got to imagine they'll face off at some point or another in San Diego. So to me, each one of these maps is just so important, because both of these teams, they log everything, right? They review everything, they rewatch everything, and you got to imagine they're using VODs like these with our new UMG Gaming VODs channel.
Hey.
That little plug, but
absolutely,
and they're going to take those into effect because again, we leave for the event next week. All these recent results matter.
Yeah, they 100% do, right? And the next Pro League as well on Sunday is going to tell the tale of how this thing is going to finish off. Reciprocity, like I said, 5-0, kind of been harping on all night. No way they can be dethroned from first place. There's nobody who can take them out. So overall, they are definitely going to be #1 seed, and rightly so after winning San Diego as well. But a good start for Endgame. 4 players will, in fact, drop rushies, all by his lonesome, as Endgame is going for the trip cap.
Yeah, it looks like Solar's kind of realizing that the chances of him getting out of there are not very good. So Reciprocity do find themselves back in the round yet again, and he's a little bit on his back toe. Has some help from his teammate Summons.
Looks as if another fight for Outlook is, in fact, going to be taking place. Reciprocity did a good job winning this fight before. Endgame doesn't have anybody up there to provide any defense. Interesting fight, though, down low between Explosives and Icy. And Icy's in a bad position, but if he wins this fight, that's going to open the door potentially to push out for Charlie to join his team from Outlook. But in the end, he's not going to be able to win it. Another good win for Endgame.
You can see Kenny kind of has just to watch. Endgame, in the meantime, have built a very, very large lead that continues to grow stronger and stronger, of course, holding that B and C hill. Reciprocity gonna have to make a pretty big play as we kind of head towards the last stage of this round. That's a good start. A couple players are going to be down on the side of Endgame. Rushy's going to make his way over to the home hill, and Reciprocity has the information. Of course, Rushy doesn't get the full break, instead chooses to move his resources over and kill the in-game leader of Endgame.
Hey, I absolutely agree with that play. And that opens the door into Bravo. Look at the claps. They're going to be all over B. They're going for this domination. The break will take place. No, not just yet, but Icy, he's going to get chunked by Praise, who just runs right up to him. Endgame looking to stop this push, but for how long? Killfeed lighting up blue, but a break, or at least that was enough time wasted onto B for Endgame to get the break onto their own home hill. Franchise, though, doing a great job putting up a fight, but Rushies comes from the flank. He's going to manage to pick up one Kenny. He'll join into the mix himself, and it looks as if Reciprocity, they're going to walk away with this.
Big late game play coming in from Reciprocity. It started by getting those kills on the home hill, and you mentioned it kind of let them get a free pathway right over to B. They get the kills there. Endgame did a decent job of kind of weathering the storm, but in the end, Reciprocity applied too much pressure over at the home hill. Franchise got a big kill. Rushies was there for the trades in a situation where this Reciprocity team just uses such good teamwork. And they kick it off once again. That's another round that Endgame controlled a lot of the way through, but when it matters most, man, Rec takes it right away from them. Again, with these long spawn rounds, you have the ability to do that, right? You start to chain some kills together. You have a lot of time to kind of make your next move.
Something to point out, Mental went 0-3 that round, so his respawn economy is going to be a little bit lower. So we need to see him really starting to capitalize in those moments he gets into a fight. Even though at 3 or 4 lives, you can drop off relatively quick. Reciprocity sitting pretty well, I would have to say, despite getting wiped a couple of times. Breakoff is going to happen, though. B's going to see a lot of action. And it looks as if Mental's going to be put in a tough position, and Power's going to capitalize, taking him out for first blood.
And there for the revives. It looks like Endgame managed so far to pick up a couple kills. Fran versus Summons. Franchise is going to get the better end of that one. Now Explosive's kind of forced to watch him go for the full cap, going to retreat a little bit. Reciprocity do come out on top with the initial. Like you mentioned, Mental did fall there. He already finds himself sitting on 2 of 4 respawn, so has to be a little careful.
Endgame doing what Reciprocity did last round. They go for the overlook position. They go for the OE. Now it's up to Reciprocity to keep them at bay. Good team pickup, though, is Mental helping out some members. Teamfire coming through. Endgame starting to apply that pressure. A trade will occur. And now Mental hits some nice shots on the Powers. He's forced to retreat. Icy, not a lot he can do in that situation. Powers forced to go all the way back to his spawn, and Endgame has a successful double home hill setup.
Okay, good OE coming through from Endgame. You gotta imagine how long it's gonna last. Reciprocity back on the offensive. Franchise is getting lit up by this member. Did not expect Explosive to be there waiting for him. Explosive continues forward, picking up kills onto Kenny. So both home hills getting a lot of action right now. Players dying on each end. Powers finds himself with a member down, but two other members of Endgame there waiting for him, so he chooses just to save his life instead. The smart play to make. And while the dust clears, after all the home hills do get capped and recapped, Endgame do take control of B once again. So within moments, they'll take the time lead back and start to build a lead of their own.
Yeah, they made it pretty easy because they applied so much pressure to the home hill. Reciprocity had no choice but to allocate resources to Charlie, and they basically had to concede that neutral hill to Endgame. But just as quickly as they lost it, they gained it right back. Bravo and Charlie in the hands of Reciprocity, and that forces now Endgame to go all the way back once again for the overextension. But you notice Reciprocity doing the same thing on the other end, and they will capitalize just as Endgame is capitalizing on the other side. But a couple of big wins, though, at least stops Endgame from capping the home hill of Reciprocity for a short period of time. And this could be a big win if player number 8, that's going to be Solars, is able to take it over, and he does, taking Franchise down. But Reciprocity answers right back to get their own home hill. But once again, Bravo's being captured. This has been a very objective-based round, and I'm liking what I'm seeing.
This has just been pure mayhem. And these two home hills just getting hit left and right, and fights at A and fights at C and fights at A and fights at C. And meanwhile, the B hill kind of always sits with whoever had it capped. And the situation looks like Endgame are getting back control of B once again. Explosive, doing a good job holding it down. And Reciprocity don't want to lose a lot of players late here. Spawns are going to be pretty long. They still have the time lead. They still have some time to kind of play around with. Rush is going to pick up one kill. Prey is going to be forced down at the overlook. So if Rush can get a break onto A, that would be helpful. He ends up actually going down near the hill. So Reciprocity, they need to get a break onto either B or A. And again, the win condition still does favor the Swarm team. They got to make a decision where it's going to be. Rushy starts to dance around A, but Mental is there for the chunk. Can they get the break onto B? That would mean everything. They do get it. So as long as no one touches the C hill, Reciprocity should come out with the round, and they do. Mental almost made the big play, but unfortunately his teammates weren't able to pick it up for him on the other side.
So many resources committed on that round on both ends. Respawn economy is going to be really hurting, especially going into just a third round. I can only imagine the fourth round if it doesn't end quickly. Mental, though, we talked about how low, at least after the first round, he was 0-3. Now he's picked it up a bit, right? He's now sitting at 6 total kills for himself. But the end result is Reciprocity leading 2-0. And both teams right now pretty comfortable with how the fight is going. No one wants to kind of throw out a Hail Mary and put that drop shot down. I can only imagine if Reciprocity wins his third round, maybe Endgame will choose to place that drop shot over onto the neutral hill, especially on that second half. But this next initial is going to really tell the tale how this round is going to go. Endgame looking pretty good, but Mental gets dropped down to all fours. Eventually will be picked up, and the first blood will be Summons taking Rushies down.
I see Summons getting aggressive, getting as far up on Powers as he can, but Kenny's there. Hits Kenny with a brick, unfortunately. Powers and Kenny answer back in Reciprocity, seeming to take control once again. Summons is going to be down. Mental and Praise obviously died off the initial. As the revives come through, it is Reciprocity. Come out on top of the B hill. Again, these are quick spawns. And now Mental finds himself on 1 life left. Or 1 respawn left, I should say.
1 respawn.
Praise sitting on 2. The rest
Rush is
pretty healthy. Yeah, Rush is on 1.
You know,
Fran on 2. Icy on 2. So not the healthiest respawn economy over for Reciprocity on the other end. Looking fairly similar, but Reciprocity continues to build this lead up. You got to wonder, are we going to continue to see those fights over on the home hills?
Oh, you already know it. You see them stacking on Outlook.
Yeah, as the members already begin to kind of move together, gather that utility. I think Reciprocity knows that they're sending Kenny over there, trying to get as many angles as they can, getting some counter utility in place. The longer it takes Endgame to make this push,
here we go.
The more time they'll lead. Here we go. The initial damage comes through. The counter flashes are there. Icy's going to go down first.
Kenny
gets 1. Solars misses the revive, but misses the knife, but does not miss the shot. So far, a successful push coming in from Endgame. That's going to be 3 down. Now Endgame finds themselves with a 2-hill setup, which it is A and C this time around. But at the very least, a chance to get back into this in the time.
And you know, they win a lot more than just winning that hill. They also win the fight for Respawn Economy. Rushy's now on his last life. Your main Slayer on your last life, you know Rushy's. Even though he's at 0-4, he's still going to be pushing those fights. He's still going to be getting in the mix. He doesn't care. So with that being said, there's a strong potential Rushies goes down in the next team fight And that's only going to be better for in-game, right? Because they're going to be sitting in a permanent 5v4. So it's absolutely critical that they either take Praise or Mental out to kind of even out those numbers.
Reciprocity back on the offensive. Powers on the flank. He's going to
Mental.
take one. Oh. He's going to get two. He's going to get three!
Oh my gosh!
Powers doing what he does best, blowing his opponents off the map. That's a very quick 4 dead, and he has the opportunity to march right onto the C hill. At the very least, grab that break as Praise is going to run into the blender over at B. And like I said, man, there's just nothing Powers can't do in this game.
Powers, absolute units, finally gets silenced by Solars. And Reciprocity should be able to retake this game, yeah, absolutely, as they win the fight onto B. Despite that break, Kenny also coming through. Mental on his last life, so he's going to be spawning up. It's not going to be looking too good. Rushy stayed alive that entire time, so he's going to be coming up with 1 life himself. Phenomenal hold from Reciprocity. Now this, or at least comes out with the question of what can in-game do to turn this around as we get this replay. A moment of silence, Ryan.
The first step is not letting this happen.
Jeez.
There's the 1, there's the 2, and turns around just to absolutely embarrass that third player. Insane stuff coming in from Powers. Again, the outright best player in Gears of War 5. I don't care what anyone else thinks. It's just not even close at this point.
That is just dirty. Absolute unit, to say the least. And I was asking you, what can in-game do? Well, I was kind of alluding to the fact maybe they placed a drop shot. No, not going to be the case. They want more utility. We got Boltox on both sides.
You got to see what Endgame's going to do to close this half out. If you're Reciprocity and you finish the 4-0 half, you got to almost imagine that's the map right there.
Well, that's, I mean, it was the same thing on Vascar, too. I think they were, what were they leading? Yeah, they were leading 4-0, and then Endgame won 1 round. Endgame has to win this. Because, yeah, you're right. If they're down 4-0, there's just the chances of Endgame winning this is so slim.
Explosive holding that bull talk. Another very accurate player with his various secondaries.
Something to note, Rushies is going to be on his last life already, off the rip. Didn't stop him last round, but respawns are very quick, right? So you got to be thinking eventually he is going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, you have Kenny on 3, Powers on 4, Fran on 4, Icy on 2, and the other end, Summons with 2, Solars with 3, so, you know, fairly
Mental's
healthy
the only
respawns
one, really.
outside of kind of Rushies on one end and Mental on the other.
And Icy will be on 1 of 4 if he gets finished here as well. So Explosives needs to solidify this, but he's not going to be able to as a battle for Overlook is going to be taking place. Franchise is going to be up here in the mix. So will Rushies as well. So this could be a big fight for in-game if they're able to take Rushies down here. Franchise doing a great job, though, peppering some shots. Chip damage will take Summons out. That forces Rushies up. You notice Kenny in the kill feed as well, picking up a couple. Rushies will pick up 2 himself. That's going to be 3 down to the side of in-game, and that opens up the door for Reciprocity to go onto the home hill. They're going for the trip cap.
Yeah, they have a couple members pinned right now, a couple more off spawn. Explosive and Mental, that dynamic duo. Are going to get that hill back, and at the very least, it's a good set of breaks for Reciprocity. Endgame was building a pretty early lead. So Reciprocity now has the 2 cap once again, but Explosive wants more. Gets the kill onto Kenny. He's marching right over to C. Rushy's going to be there to meet him, and if you get that kill onto Rushy's, that's going to be big. So Rushy needs to be careful here. If he goes down there and he's getting very close to challenging these players, so manage to stay alive. He needs to be on those back lines. He needs to be kind of the last member in the fight. As Endgame have thrown all their resources over onto C, at least for now.
They still have that point lead, so if they retake C here, they'll maintain the point lead. Looks like this as if they're going to be able to do just that. Mental on his last life, though, he's got to be careful. But that also has to make Reciprocity feel a little bit more comfortable, right? Because you even up the odds. And in-game basically has the entire north section of the map locked down in their favor. And that kind of makes the fight awkward for Reciprocity. So their only option is to push up 3 strong for Charlie to retake their own home hill. But what usually happens when that occurs? In-game goes right down to Bravo. They're going to take the neutral hill. But I am curious, though. Look at that fight. The fight actually wins for the home hills. Reciprocity, they're going to take the double home hill setup right back in their favor. They're going to collapse down on Bravo. They're going to go for the trip cap.
Looking to get that break onto B for good measure. You're going to see Explosive with a couple members in front of him. That's a big break coming through for Rec. They're on all 3 hills for now. Solar's going to fight through at least to get that early break, but Reciprocity, they're still not out of this yet. They still don't have the lead. Kenny
That's a big win if he wins this.
trying trying to get this kill onto Mental. He does. That's going to give him C. But if they don't get the break onto A, I don't think they're going to have enough time.
Oh, and they're not going to be successful.
Yeah,
Rushy's going to be the only one to push forward. He gets dropped to all fours as well. And in-game barely escapes with the win themselves, 250 to 232, just in the nick of time. But I got to say, for the majority of that match, Reciprocity was absolutely dominating.
Yeah, I mean, Endgame came with an early lead, so Reciprocity was kind of clawing back the whole way through. They were controlling the pace for a while, but again, that time that was built early on ended up being what did it for them. Endgame got the hill they needed, and they avoided kind of the 4-0 first half. They could manage to bring this back to a 3-3 that would change kind of the entire feel of this map, but it's easier said than done when it comes to this team.
100%. And again, utilities will continue to be built up. And this fight up top is going to be fun to watch, specifically because you're looking at Rushies, right? Who's going to be in the mix, slaying out. He's back at 4 out of 4, which gives him the utmost confidence. Even when he was at 0 out of 4 for 2 rounds straight, you couldn't stop him. But then you're also going to be watching at some players such as Mental, right? Explosive Praise are going to be getting into the mix up top. Let's see how this fight goes down. It's going to be 4 strong. And Rushy's first one in the mix. He's got Mental and Praise just up above. He misses the first shot. Rushy's still going in for a couple. And it's going to be a big win. Whoever gets this wipe could potentially walk away with 4, and it's going to get started here. Explosives able to take Icy down. It's going to be Franchise, though, answering back onto Explosives. And it's just absolute chaos and bloodbath, if you will. Summons will answer back. Can't get the second. Icy will answer. Forces attention down to get this pinch in between. Mental and Praise will get dropped. That's going to be 4 down. It was actually 5 down for in-game. And we're off to the races. Reciprocity all over the home hill. They're going to be trying to get this domination quick.
Yeah, Explosive is off spawn. His teammates spawning back in as well. Someone has to get a touch on the hill. Looks like a couple are coming from the backside. Can they get the touches in time? So far they do. The touches aren't going to do it. They need to get kills. I don't think these members will be able to get there in time. The clock will run out for Endgame on this round. 1 minute and 3 seconds later, Reciprocity kick off the second half with a pretty quick win. Now finding themselves on map point, on match point, and now tournament point, looking to win their second week in a row.
Second week in a row, and also propel themselves to 5 overall victories in Emergence Days Season 2. And I don't even think in Emergence Days Season 1 anybody could match that. Overall, Reciprocity looking like absolute units, and in-game, they've got to get to work. This is their opportunity to turn it around. They have to be flawless from this point forward and cannot slip up for one moment, or Reciprocity is going to take advantage of it. And it starts again, once again, on that fight up top for that neutral hill, that fight for Overlook. It went into the hands of Reciprocity last time. In-game need to turn it around. This next fight here could be, or really could spell the end for in-game.
Gonna find out here. Mental trying his best to keep them in this, gets that first kill onto Rushies. Brandon Icy fall in the meantime. A much better initial coming through from Endgame. 4 members do quickly go down. Powers, the last remaining member, is going to have to fight off a swarm of members of Endgame. Luckily, he has a Bulltalk to kind of scare him away. His teammates do come off spawn, but they have to do a lot better job getting some of these kills in the back end. Powers.
Rushies and Powers.
Summons on skates. The 2 main slayers of this Reciprocity team are just having their way with Endgame. 4 dead. Nothing they can do to stop these 2 individuals, and now Solars is being chased out of the Overlook. Kenny instantly hits the D hill. The trip cap will start to be underway. Endgame now find themselves fighting for their own hill. Reciprocity trying their best to finish this off with a trip cap. Russian Powers once again getting the kills. Icy trying to dance around Praise. He's going to win that. No one can get a touch on it. And Reciprocity winning back-to-back weeks, an absolutely dominant performance on training grounds. They take this map 5-1, they take the series, and win yet another week of Emergence Days.
Absolute units, Reciprocity, 5 total victories, 8 appearances in the grand finals, and overall, the best team currently in Gears 5. They won San Diego. They're 5-0 in the Pro League, and they're also uncontestedly the best team here in Emergence Days Season 2 with a total of 5 victories. The only match by that of Rise, as well as in-game with 3 in their name. Phenomenal work from this team, back-to-back champions, and that is their second time they have won back-to-back weeks.